Hello, and welcome to 100% Real with Ruby. Now, this one has been on my mind for a very, very long time, and I just never really got around to speaking about it because I know that so many women just dismiss this as important. But the reality is that if you don't start to understand this huge, huge core concept of change, you aren't going to change because you're not stuck. There is no such thing as being stuck. You're not a tree, you're not planted in ground. You're choosing to stay there. And it's not choosing it out of you want to do it. It's more so what are you avoiding? Where's the fear? What aren't you seeing? I had a conversation with a client recently, well, before she became a client, and she thought that time management was the issue. She just needed to make time for certain things. And that was the thing that was keeping us stuck. However, there are many other issues that we came to the conclusion of, which is why she was doing things that weren't serving her, falling on and off track. And obviously that's why she was emotional eating, etc. But something that many of my clients, I'm working with them on this, is this very thing. I'm cutting all the fluff with this one. So I hope you stay with me through this because I'm saying this from a place of I hear you, I get it. It's hard because when you feel like you're stuck and no matter what you do, nothing just seems to get you ahead, it hurts, it sucks. But I guarantee you that you're making it so much harder than it needs to be. And before you come at me with saying, oh, but I feel this is real and you're not validating my struggles and it really is fucking hard and blah, blah, blah. Like, I know, I have my own freaking struggles myself. And what I can tell you is that a huge chunk of our own frustration, we put it on ourselves because we're human and that's okay. I've already let go of quite a lot of mine through therapy, and it's why I highly suggest therapy. But something that I also realized is that therapy doesn't work without you kind of understanding these basic things anyway, because I tried it and it failed me every single time. And it wasn't until I got into taking self-development seriously, reading books, listening to more podcasts, going deeper, building more awareness, actually slowing the fuck down instead of chasing things all the time, getting curious, wanting to solve my own shit instead of rushing through, needing to solve XYZ to get the outcome that I wanted ASAP. I started to allow other things in, and it helped me help myself. And I needed the psychologist to work in with my coach for it to be like a handshake. And it all starts at awareness. But today is all about just you not sabotaging yourself and realizing when you are, and realizing that you do it for a particular reason and it serves you in a certain way, even though you don't like the outcomes of it. It's there for a particular reason. And the more that we shame it, the louder it gets, the harder it is to break through. And that's what most of us get stuck in, the loop of shaming, of shoulding. It should look like this, not like this. I should be able to do this already. I should be further along. It should look like this. And the more that you fall into that cycle, what you end up with is more and more comparisons, trying to find how others are doing it. And we lose more and more contact with our own selves. Other people's stories start to become our own, and we start to believe them fundamentally as true. And it starts to fuck us up even more. And it sucks. But it's all starting with this concept of the second arrow and the third arrow. And I always say stop shooting yourself with the second arrow, but also so many of us shoot ourselves with the third arrow. I actually don't really mind the second arrow sometimes because this shit's hard. You're going to shoot yourself with the second arrow, and that's okay. But the third arrow, you know that isn't allowed. In Buddhism, the second arrow concept is about life being the first arrow. You get shot with something, you slip up, you figure things out. First arrow, the challenge, the failure, the moment where things don't go to plan. You didn't meal prep, you skipped the gym, you missed a deadline. whatever it is. That's life. The second arrow is either you making it worse through your negative self-talk, you ruminating on it, whatever stories you tell yourself. That's the second arrow. How long are you going to keep scrooging in that second arrow? Are you going to keep shooting yourself with that second arrow? That second arrow is going to hit you because this shit isn't easy. And we're human and we're going to beat ourselves up a little. That's the only way that we know. So it's okay to get hit by the second arrow, but how long it stays in you, the worse it becomes. The worse the damage, the harder it is to get away from that. The harder it is to heal, the harder it is to come back from it. So when are you going to pull it out? When are you going to stop digging in that second arrow? But the worst one is the third arrow. You just shoot yourself again. You never learnt from that second arrow. And if you listen to my podcast with Max, failing is amazing. You're meant to make mistakes. You don't get better without mistakes, ever. You don't get, you like, so many people are so scared of not being able to handle something or looking like a fool or just, I don't even know. Like, being scared of doing a barbell bench press, as an example, is something that I'm working with one of my clients through, or scared of particular exercises, scared of looking like a novice, or you avoid particular exercises because they're hard, because you don't know how to do it, because you look silly doing it. But you're never going to get better at it if you keep avoiding it. Same with failures, same with mistakes. If you just brush it off, that is why you keep yourself stuck, because it's not that you're not willing to learn from it, because damn, you really want to get out of it. I know you want to learn from it, but you won't allow yourself to, because that means wasted time that you could be moving forward, doing other things, doing things that seem productive, because it's not productive to try to figure old shit out when you can keep moving forwards. But are you really moving forwards? I would say no. That's the, I will never get this right. I should have known better. The first arrow stings. The second arrow keeps you bleeding. The third arrow ensures that you never, ever get anywhere that you want to be. That's the thing. Stop the overanalyzing, stop the overshaming, stop mentally exhausting yourself to the point you don't even want to try anymore. It's not meant to be this damn hard. It's not meant to take over your life. You don't need to track your food forever. You don't need to eat separately from your family. You just need to be willing to know the trade-offs of everything that you do, have your expectations in line with reality, because that's when you start to get hard on yourself, because your reality doesn't match that. Your reality isn't matching your expectations because you expect to get X, but you're not willing to do X and Y. But there's nothing wrong with that either, especially when you've been trying this for years and years on end. And until you accept this very one thing, you're going to stay stuck. And that's the recalibration phase. You need to allow yourself to be in the messy middle. Sometimes that could mean gaining a little bit of weight. And the fear of that stops you from ever moving forward. Sometimes you need to gain weight to lose weight. Sometimes you need to lose a whole shitload of control to be able to gain that control back, but in a healthier way. Because right now, the control that you're trying to hold is toxic. It's not getting you anywhere. How long have you been trying this? And yes, it's freaking scary to let yourself go. And that's why you get a coach, because like the thing that I mentioned this in one of my stories on Instagram, one of the things that held me back for ages, and something that I always used to say to my coach is, you better be able to fix me if you ruin me. Like, how toxic was that? It was always in my mind, well, I know that you can fix me. I know that you can lean me out. Even though I kept telling myself that, I was still hesitating for a while, because it's like, well, I know that he can lean me out. I know that he can work magic. He can do anything. I've seen it happen. It wasn't the process I didn't trust. It was myself, because I couldn't stick to anything. I fell off things very easily. And I have clients that kind of have said the same thing, where they know they can lose weight easily because they've done it before, but it was never healthily. And they hated how much of their life they lost, how they felt in that process. But aren't you already feeling like that? Even though you're eating more food, you're still feeling restricted. Even though you're not focusing so much on shrinking so much, even though so many of you are. Just because you're not in a diet does not mean that you don't feel restricted, because the idea of needing to return into a diet is restrictive. This is where everything starts, the recalibration phase, and it looks different for everyone. And that's why you need a coach, not a trainer, like a coach that actually gives a fucking fuck. And that's why I'm starting to think that I should make my main coaching package, like the main one that I should make as a non-negotiable to start on, is my premium package, at least monthly calls. And then you can downgrade after at least 3 months of monthly calls. Because to me, that is what is going to make the biggest difference. And then you can stay on the monthly calls. If you don't need one month, you can get two the next month. And the reason I'm saying this is because like this shit matters so much. That and like my goals, I don't really have that many clients that are on premium. I have a couple, but yeah, that's the thing. I give so much to them already outside of that, but it's never enough when you're stuck in this cycle. And if you feel like you need this, and if you're a client listening to this and you want to upgrade, go for it. Let me know. You guys get a little discount compared to the normal people. But by normal people, I mean those that are just starting out because you've been with me for a while. But that's the thing. It's you like, what is these shoulds? What is that I should be able to do this by myself? What is that? Because I wrote this on my Facebook the other day. Let me find it. Here it is. Most of us want to look and perform like these elite athletes. We wonder how they do it all the time. And the funny thing is that none of us are willing to do the, well, at least face the stuff that they're willing to face. And most of us don't want to live the lives of elite athletes, but at least to have the mindset that they have, the resilience that they have, to be able to do the hard things that they do, to get through the things that they do. What makes you think that you can have it so easy when even the elite struggle? We look at them and think, damn, they just have something that I don't. Yeah, they do. They have the willingness to work on themselves. They have the willingness to be better. And because they want to be better, they will do the hard shit. And the hard shit is doing the mindset work because your body can do absolutely anything. It's your mind that stops you. This isn't just the basics of starting a habit. This is going from great to the absolute best. It is a mindset thing that stops there. It is always a mindset thing from going from someone that looks fit to someone that goes onto stage, from someone who's really fucking strong to someone who competes on a powerlifting platform, from someone who can throw around shit at a CrossFit hoodoo voodoo blah blah thing to the CrossFit Games. Everything is mindset work, even the most simplest of things. And if you're neurodivergent like me, it is harder. You need more patience. I have all the patience with my girls. And if you're willing to work with me and you have neurodivergence, autism, I have clients that have PTSD and all these other symptoms. They work with therapists. I have severe ADHD and severe anxiety. And it's a genetic thing as well. Like it's nothing to be shamed for. Or down my family line, there's bipolar, there's OCD, there's all this shit. Like we can only make the best of the hands that we are dealt with. You can either play victim to it or you can take control. You can start to work on yourself. You can start to build yourself up to figure out a way to make it through the shit so you can actually live a life that you deserve. Because beating yourself up is not going to get you there. It hasn't worked before. It isn't a form of discipline. It isn't you doing tough shit. If you read Steve Magnus books, who is one of the best, who trains and has coached the most elite of athletes, read his books. They are amazing, especially Do Hard Things, because it will change your mind on what the meaning of hard things are. And his newest book is freaking amazing. It's the inner game, mastering your inner game, which is your mindset. It's the thing that holds you back. Because no, you should not be further along compared to what? Oh, I feel so weak. Compared to what? Oh, I'm not getting anywhere. This is so, what are you comparing yourself to? And who are you doing this for? The more that you put yourself onto someone else's timeline or some arbitrary, impossible standard, you are always going to feel like you're failing. You're going to set yourself up for failure before you even begin. Who made up all these rules anyway? Like, who decided these are the conditions for success? You, society, some random influencer who doesn't even live the life that you want? What you see on the screen isn't reality. And every single level requires another devil, kind of like in business. Like, you can easily have a sole trader business like me. I could easily hire people and reach X and higher levels of this, that, and the other. But what does that come with? More tax things to file. I need to worry about more things, more paperwork, more this, more that, more headache, more stress. Do I want the costs of that next level? No. And that goes with everything because you're all here shooting yourselves with the same stories that you know are only making you miserable. So why are you holding on to them? Why? The shoulds, how are they serving you? What purpose are they serving you? Where have they served you before? Because everything that we do serves a purpose. There is a purpose for it. What would happen if it didn't exist? Can you imagine that? Most of us can't. There's a discomfort that comes up in us. And I know that because I am the same with other things. The thought of it is just like, but there's a lot that can come with that is some form of fear or some form of discomfort, some form of what the fuck would that even look like? Because you can't just shift a habit. You can't just change a habit. Sometimes you need something stronger to propel you. And if you don't know what that is, you need to dig deeper. Go listen to my goal setting podcast that I released at the start of the year as well. So, how can we break out of this cycle? First thing is realizing that beating yourself up isn't discipline, like I mentioned. You're just self sabotaging. If I don't push myself, I'll get lazy. If I don't do X, Y, Z, I'm going to let myself go. I'm going to get fat. I'm going to lose progress. I'm going to get so comfortable with it. I'm not going to want to return because it's so easy for me to gain fat. It's so easy for me to be lazy. I love being lazy. Okay, but there is a way around that. And I work with my clients on this all the time. And it's never a simple fact of just getting them to act differently. Just like when someone is so attached to the scale, it's not a simple thing of just let's ditch the scale. Let's stop focusing on this, that, and the other. It is a long process of trying to give them something that really freaking excites them. And that is such a hard job on myself as much as it is on them. And if I didn't want their results for them as much as they did, they wouldn't get there because it needs so much commitment from me, so much enthusiasm. They need, like, my energy needs to be infectious. They need to know that I believe in them. And that comes not through words that I say, but how I say them, how I treat them, how I coach them. And that is exactly how you should start talking to yourself, like someone you actually give a fucking shit about. Like, damn it. Imagine you said what you say to yourself to your best friend, to your daughter, to your husband, to anyone in your family. How about going to say it to your mom if you have a good, like anyone that you truly value? People go on about friggin' domestic violence, domestic abuse, whatever the fuck it is. You're doing it to yourself every freaking day. So let's be real. When has beating yourself up ever actually worked long term? Does calling yourself a failure suddenly make you more motivated? I highly doubt it. Does mentally punishing yourself for where you're not or what you aren't doing yet make you show up better? I highly doubt it. Does spiraling into guilt make the work easier? I highly doubt it. So why are we doing this? Why are we causing ourselves so much pain, stress, anxiety, and exhaustion? Well, I can't answer that for every single one of you because every single one of you has a particular reason for the way that you do things the way that you do them. And if you need help breaking through that, reach out to me. That's why I'm here. But you need to stop ripping yourself apart every single time that you slip. Catch the second arrow. Pause. Oh, I noticed this happening. Yes, sometimes you won't be able to pause, but that's okay. The goal is to pause more often than not. Don't bring your perfectionism into fixing it now because you don't need to be fixed. Just shifted, just brought to awareness, calling out the shoulds. Is this actually true? How can I prove otherwise? Where is there proof in my past that I did XYZ? Where did it come from? Did I just make this up? What would someone else say about it? What's another way that I can look at it? If I looked at it, like there's this, DM me for the link to this. I'll send you a link to it. But one of my psychologist friends sent me this amazing YouTube video about tinted glasses. It's like a psychology theory. But like I said at the very beginning, you need to talk to yourself like someone you give a freaking shit about because you need to be your own best friend through this. Why would you want to act in a way that benefits you towards the person that you want to be when everything that you do is anti that? You're shaming yourself. You're treating yourself like a monster inside of your own head. You don't even want to be yourself half the time. But the biggest thing is focus on the next play. Athletes, they can't just sit and cry on the sidelines. They need to stay in the game. Otherwise, their team loses. Think about doing it for the team. And this is why I love having a coaching team. What's your next best move? That is all that matters. Okay, so I'm late for my gym session. So I'm going to close this out with something extremely important. First, something that I would love you to do if it's possible is please leave me a 5-star rating. It would mean the world to me. I recently lost my ad blocker on Chrome. Yes, I'm one of those people. I'm sorry, but freaking screw ads. Every single YouTube channel that I love has ads on it. Why is everything needing to be monetized lately? Like podcasts, everything. I don't want to do that to you guys. I am sponsoring myself. Actually, no, my podcast is sponsoring this podcast. Please leave me a 5-star rating. Please share me to someone who can benefit from this. Please just send this to someone who needs to hear it. They really need to hear it. I'm not promoting anything other than this podcast because I want to bring real chats back. I want to just grow my community more. I want to connect with you guys more. I want to be real. And it's so much easier to do it on here. But I want more ears on here first. I want to try to get to 100 5 stars if possible. But before I end this well, now I'm going into ending this podcast. The people that you see effortlessly crushing their goals and wondering how the hell they do it, nobody talks about the other stuff that happens behind what you see, or even if what you see is a reality or just a facade. You're not more talented than athletes, and you're not more talented than any other pro out there. So why do you think that you can get away with not working on your mindset like they had to, like they still have to, even at their level? And they still need coaches, even at their level. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to yourself. Because you're always going to have setbacks. You're always going to have hard days. How are you going to handle them? You don't have to make it harder than it already is. Life already throws enough at you. You're not in control of most of the shit out there. Trying to have control over everything is what causes the most stress and overwhelm. So audit that. The choice is yours. You can keep wondering why you're stuck, or you can actually do something about it. And it all starts with awareness and acceptance and realizing it doesn't have to be this way. And it shouldn't be. There is so much more out there for you. Life is to be lived. There it is. Love you all. Self-compassion is your greatest strength. It's the cheat code to getting what you want in a way that feels good to your soul and to everything else. Love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.